on Module 2, Topic 2, Lesson 4. We are going to be doing M2-131, just number 1 and 2. So number 1 says, examine the linear graph, determine the y-intercept, and write the y-intercept in coordinate form, then write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form. So we got 3 different things: y-intercept, that in coordinate form, and an equation. So we look at this graph and we look to see where it's crossing the y-axis, and it's crossing at 100. So that's the y-intercept. So to put that in coordinate form, since that's going to be y, x is going to be 0, because we can see along this line that's 0 for x. So 0, 100. Then we need the equation. Y equals some sort of m x plus b, where b we just found out was 100. So now we need to figure out the slope, the rise over the run. So we know we're starting at 0, 100, and then they give us this other point, 42, 148. And of course you don't have to use that point, you can use any of them, but it's kind of convenient that they gave it to us. So x is changing by a positive 42, and y is changing also by a positive, but this time positive 48. So since it's y over x, because it's rise over a run, we'll put that 48 over 42. Now technically that is the ratio of the slope, but obviously we can reduce that. So if we reduce top and bottom by 2, that'd be 24 over 21. Then we can reduce it by 3, and that's 8 over 7. So we can leave it as that, as 8 over 7. So these are your answer. For number 2, the table represents a linear relationship. Use the table to identify the y-intercept, write the y-intercept in coordinate form, then write an equation in slope-intercept form. So those 3 things again, but now just in table form. So this one's a little bit trickier because we're going to have to work backwards, because they don't give us where x is 0, which is what we need. So I'm looking at the fact that from 20 to 24, it's going up by 4, and from 144 to 142, or from 144 to 172, that's a difference of 28. So our slope is 28 over 4, which is 7. Okay, so that's going to help us work backwards to figure out what 0 is. So we know that if we are writing an equation, we can put that 7 in for x, but we still don't know what our slope-intercept form. So basically if we count backwards from here, so we know 20, so if we go back to 16, and then 12, and then 8, and then 4, and then 0, then we can also count back, same thing, with our y's. So we know that basically every time you go back this much, we're going back 28. So we can just keep going from there. 144 minus 28, 116 minus 28 again, 88 minus 28, 60 minus 28, 32 minus 28, ooh, 4, very nice. So we're starting at 4. And of course some of you probably thought like was an easier way of getting there, and that's totally fine. Like you're just working back with that pattern to find that starting point. So we know that that's our equation. We now found that our intercept was 4. So to put that in our point form, 0, 4.